Now they head north to the land of blondes, raw fish and aquavit firewater for 30 laps of 4.03 kilometres, 121 the race distance. Lawson won there in 84 and 86, Spencer in 85 and 83. Gardner a tenth of a second margin on a track where he's never won, ahead of the Americans who've won there the last 4 years. Eddie Lawson gets a boomer of a start, jumping away in front of the field. But still he can't keep out Ron Haslam into the first corner. Haslam already out on his own with a 12-bike crocodile chain behind him. Great start by Haslam, who's got a little bit of special magic in getting away from the line. Everybody hooked up together behind him and on Roger Burnett's bike in 7th place, looking at Neil Mackenzie and de Radigues going by. And in equal second place almost, Gardner and Lawson. An equal fourth behind them, McElnay and Momola. Quite hard, close racing. And Yatsushiro on 16 off in the shrubbery, with Haslam still leading. Gardner narrowing the gap. Haslam good when the tyres are gripping, but doesn't like them sliding, usually fades back in the race. Gardner still making ground on him, closing all the time. Braking better there. Agostini watching his crew. Eddie Lawson and Rob McElnay go by. And the Swedes confused, perhaps by a recent sauna, because Gardner's second close to Haslam, and then it's Lawson, McElnay and Momola. With former Honda Great Britain teammates, Haslam swarming past Gardner, who in those days was a new boy to the team. Determined stuff by Haslam. Gardner glued to him. Lawson not far back and McElnay close to him. 3rd and 4th for the Marlborough bikes. 1st and 2nd for the Hondas. They try to reverse order, but Gardner can't do anything about it. Haslam chopping across in front, hangs on to the lead for Elf. Spencer and de Radigues, as then Gardner goes into the lead. So now Rothman's Honda leads Elf. Haslam, Lawson getting closer, McElnay coming with him. 5th place is Spencer. 6th place, Radigues. Jumping away is Gardner, building up a nice little buffer. Going hard in the early laps as he likes to do. Try and give him a cushion to ease back later in the race, to take less risk when the tyres are sliding.
It was a Grand Prix that I need to really extract the finger a little bit. So my plan of attack was just to go out and go for it from the beginning. And in fact, qualifying went good. We were in pole position again, yet another one, which was nice. And basically, my idea and my plan was just to get really motivated for the race, and in doing that, I put on a Top Gun movie, which sort of got me really pumped up for the action. And of course, I put on some Bruce Springsteen to some real rock and roll, good music. So that was very important, because motivation plays a big part in racing, and I don't think people actually understand how much you do have to build yourself and motivate yourself for the season in total, but also for individual races.
But the order now behind Gardner is Momola, Haslam, Mackenzie, McElnay, Lawson, Spencer, de Radigues, Keeley here, and then Roger Burnett carrying the camera. Healy on the V3, Burnett on a faster bike than that, but also a Honda. Wayne Gardner, when everything's right, with equal tyres and machinery, quicker than almost anybody, devastating and very dispiriting for his opponents. A big lead and a new lap record to rub salt into the wounds or the raw fish. Gardner with almost the length of the back straight now over Randy Mamola. Still hanging on well and hard, Ron Haslam. Eddie Lawson tucked in there, Rob McElnay. In with the bunch, Didi de Radiguez on the Cagiva 7, while this man continues to build up this demoralising lead. Still with the champion Lawson not able to catch Mamola. Haslam now behind him, then Neil Mackenzie, Freddie Spencer and Rob McElnay. And then the Cagiva, a bike that really has come on this season. Pierre Francesco Keeley and Kenny Irons and Roger Burnett on 12. But all of them chasing number 2. A big demoralising lead, leaving the others to play among themselves. Well, he does it his own way. Wollongong's Wayne Gardner. Every season since he went to Britain in 1981 really has been one of progression. And this year, the big chance, the one he wants, the one that he planned, would be his World Championship year. Behind him, Eddie Lawson, the man whose title he wants, now dealing with Mamola, up into second place. While they play among themselves, Gardner out front doing his own thing, and some of them indeed behind him crashing, but not in the leading bunch. Honda. 3 Yamahas behind, and then 2 more Hondas behind them. So that Gardner really doing it almost unsupported in the Hondas. Not nearly the support that Eddie Lawson's been getting on Yamaha from Randy Mamola, his countryman. Plenty of lap traffic among them. Gardner racing away from the ambulance and from the field, from Lawson, Mamola, McElnay, then Mackenzie and Haslam on the 2 Hondas, 5th and 6th. Reveling in the motivation that he really got into for this meeting, up in Sweden on his own, concentrating on the job. No answer from his opponents, led by Lawson. A long way back from him with 7 laps remaining to Mamola in 3rd place. 4th placed McElnay on bike number 5. 5th place Neil Mackenzie on 11. 6th Haslam, 7th Spencer. Vulnerable on the outside there of a lap rider should he lose it, but it was not an on-the-limit corner, although it was a very quick one. In the tight inner section of the Anderstorp circuit. Gardner absolutely determined now, with 3 laps remaining, to ensure another win as Agostini and the bald head or balding head of Kel Carruthers in the foreground, a former Australian World 250 champion, looking after Eddie Lawson, who's now closed to within 5.83 seconds of Gardner. But Gardner knows what's happening. He's got a buffer. He's giving some of it away. so that Lawson may be tempted. It will certainly keep him trying, but really this man's in control. He's just ensuring that he gets to the checkered flag in front. Doesn't matter really by what margin. But Lawson being tempted, drawn onwards with 2 laps remaining. Just 8 odd kilometres. Trying hard, enticed to getting onto the limit on the Marlboro Yamaha. Down to 4.9 seconds, the margin of Gardner to Lawson. Still tempting him onward, and not a bad idea either, because it just could tempt him into error. The man that he says, although he's 3rd in the championship, is a greater threat than Randy Mamola, the man between the two of them, in 1st and 3rd place in the series point score. And with Lawson closer still, and going right out and up onto the curbing, Gardner still in control. More than enough margin to do the job. Riding beautifully, well within himself now. Just coming back a little bit from his and the bike's limit so that the gap comes down to 4 seconds.
Towards the end of the race it rained a little, but I had enough time up my sleeve to slow and let them catch, or let Eddie catch in fact. And but everything basically went perfect. It was one of those very, very enjoyable and good races that you wish the whole season was alike, but unfortunately it's not, and it was just nice to go out and destroy him in such a fashion.
Very satisfying for Gardner. 4 wins under the belt already this season. Well in control of this race. Really able to do it his own way, to plan it his own way. And now with that safety margin, Honda operating well, but the Yamahas have caught them in this second half of the season. Some development by Kel Carruthers, particularly in the Marlboro team, but also circuits that generally are suiting the Yamahas a little bit better, in the same way that the earlier part of the season the circuits tended to suit the power characteristics and the handling of the Hondas. So it's a win for Gardner, with Lawson within good view of him, but just not able to pin him down, and Gardner well knew that. Had it under control all the way, and shows some Mamola exuberance up the back straight on his winning lap, or his slowing down lap. Very pleased with his performance, and why not? Randy Mamola duplicating the feat down the front straight across the finishing line ahead of Rob McElnay. And behind them, Freddie Spencer finishing 8th to collect his first World Championship points since winning here in August 1985. So it really is a good result for Wayne Gardner. Maximum points from his 5th win in 10 races, and Lawson the furthest away of his major potential challengers, beating Mamola the closest to him in the points score, which gives Wayne Gardner a 19-point margin over Mamola as they go to round 11 in Czechoslovakia.
It was a beautiful track and a very, very scenic place. In fact, the